Hello, everybody. It's a fabulous day at Messina. We got a little bit of rain this morning. The harvest was fabulous in Fredericksburg. It's going well here at Messina. It's a fabulous year. The quality of our fruit in Texas is by far superior. It's amazing. The chemistries are coming in perfectly. So, this is the year to make double gold Texas wines, and I'm sure Messina will be doing it under the great direction of my son Paul Mitchell and his great staff. So today we're going to explore the many faces of Muscat, an ancient grape we think is maybe been around since 800 BC. We think it's from Greece. We're not sure. But there's a town in Greece called Moscato. Strange coincidence, isn't it? Well, in any case, there's over 200 types of Moscato. And we grow orange muscat. We grow muscat canelli, which I think is by far the most superior. And we're going to be talking about these different types of styles and different varietals within the family of muscat. An exciting category, really an exciting category, because there's so many things that you can do with it. Well, let's start off with one of the first things that's really interesting, and it's our spumante. Spumante made with Muscat Canelli. But a big, big difference between our spumante and the spumante made in the Piedmont region of Italy, where it's Asti, and that's where you get the name Asti Spumante because of the region. Well, ours is a method traditional. In other words, we ferment the second time in this bottle. So it is got more character, more interesting flavors than the traditional spumante, which the second fermentation occurs in a stainless steel tank under pressure, and then it's just transferred into the bottle and filtered. So ours has got a little bit more character, as we say. So you look at the color on it, great bubbles. I mean, the bubbles last forever. They're tiny little bubbles. You know, there's some discussion is tiny bubbles better than big bubbles? And we think tiny bubbles are better. It's a better sign of quality. It's debatable. The main thing is, how does it taste? So let's taste it. Mm. It is so refreshing. So refreshing. And here in Texas, in our spring, summer, and fall, this is a perfect beverage to sit by the pool and just enjoy yourself. It's a beautiful example of a method traditional made with Muscat Canelli, which is also what they use in spumante. But the difference is in how the second fermentation occurs. So, beautiful sparkling wine. Now we have another interesting deviation, and it's called Blanc de Bois. And this is the first time that I've ever really investigated Blanc de Bois and included it in the Muscat category. Why? Two-thirds of Blanc de Bois is Muscat. It's the vinifera. It's got Hamburg and Golden Muscat. And then it's crossed with Florida varieties. And John Mortensen, in 1968, made the cross. And in 1986, he released the vines. Texas, by far, is the most planted of the Blanc de Bois. Even though it was developed in Florida, at the University of Florida, Texas has adopted this variety because it is resistant to many, many diseases. So it's very significant. It is in the top 3 white varietals planted in the state of Texas. So you look at it, it's beautiful color, and you smell, and lo and behold, it has a muscat aroma. It's peaches, it's citrus, it's floral, and it can be made dry, it can be made semi-sweet, and it can be made sweet. And we make it just with a hint of sweetness. It's mostly dry. But let's taste it. Mm. It's almost like it's a cross between a dry Muscat and Sauvignon Blanc. It's got that beautiful character of fresh fruit and crispness. So, Blanc de Bois is actually in the family of Muscat. So remember that. Now we're going to go on to our what we would call our semi-dry Moscato, and this is 100% of Muscat Canelli, and we grow it in the high plains of Texas. It grows beautifully there. It's one of the most dependable varietals. When you smell it, the aroma is amazing. I mean, you almost feel like you want to make perfume out of this variety. You know, when the Greeks started planting Moscato and they started spreading it around the world, the Romans took it and took it even further into their area, and it is one of the most widely planted variety in the world, and with 200 varieties of Muscat, they've been crossed with everything you could imagine. And you know, Muscat Canelli is the king or queen of the variety. It's the best of the Muscats. Mm. It is just like silk. It goes in on your tongue. You pick up nice acidity, but you pick up this, oh, just beautiful peach, white peach, and it's an amazing varietal. It's just gorgeous. Now we're going to go on to something that is very, very interesting because this is a combination. This is an orange muscat. And you think, okay, what is orange muscat? Orange muscat is actually a cross of muscat Canelli and Chasselas. Chasselas is a variety in Switzerland and Austria, and it crossed and it became orange muscat. So when you smell it, instead of that white peach aroma, it smells like an orange. It's amazing because Chasselas is normally a dry, it has kind of a neutral aroma. But when you crossed it with the Canelli, it came out orange. And the second thing that's really interesting about this process, this is called the Mastella process because we take the orange muscat juice and we ferment it for only a few days, and then we add neutral spirits. So we add brandy into this, and the brandy intoxicates the yeast and it stops the fermentation. So this is 15% alcohol, but it has about 7 to 8% residual sugar. So it's a fascinating wine. It will keep much longer than most muscats because of the higher alcohol. And the two of them marry. The aroma of the muscat, the orange muscat, and the neutral spirit brandy is only a little bit put in. Just marry beautifully, and it comes up with this amazing smell. Because you're really smelling a lot of the natural juices in the orange muscat. So it's an amazing wine, and it's one of my favorites. And see, this wine is a wine that can be sold in grocery because it is 15% alcohol, even though it's fortified. So, and it's kind of similar to like a white port because of that, because the alcohol is a little bit higher. So you taste it. Mm. I mean, it tastes like I've got an open orange and I've poured some brandy over the orange, and now I'm eating the fresh fruit, and it is so divine. It is a beautiful, beautiful wine. Now we're going to do something that's really interesting, and that is this is a Muscat Canelli that we harvested late in the season. So it's a late harvest Muscat Canelli, and we make this wine for the Texas A&M former students. It's a very special wine, and it's very popular with the former students at Texas A&M. And you look at it, because it's harvested at the end of the season, the skin of the Muscat Canelli gets more golden in color. So it is a golden shade wine. And when you smell it, it starts picking up honey. I mean, you start tasting and smelling honey. And I can tell you at the crush pad, because we've been processing some late harvest muscat lately, the bees love this thing. Man, you look at one of the containers where we have our grapes that come in from our High Plains vineyards, and there's bees everywhere because they love extracting the juice from the Muscat Canelli. It is amazing. So let's taste. Mm. For the person who loves sweet wine, for the beer drinker in the audience who says, I've never had a wine that I ever liked, get this. The late harvest Muscat Canelli will satisfy every desire that you've ever had about a sweet wine. It is delightful. So, let's summarize. Here we go. We got the great family of Moscato. We've got sparkling wine. We've got a Blanc de Bois, which is actually a cross. We've got the wonderful semi-dry Moscato. And then we have the orange Muscat, which is Mistela. And then we have the Aggie traditional late harvest Muscat for all those sweet Aggies in the audience. So, on behalf of all of us at Messina Hop, we are so thankful for you buying our wine and loving it. And we say congratulations to all, and God bless you all.